Smiles tells a story about a character called Rose Cotter, and she is a therapist. And one day she visits a patient that changes her entire life. Well, fucks her life, if I'm gonna be honest. So she meets a patient called Laura, and who's clearly distraught and manic. So she chats to her, and Laura describes to Rose that she keeps seeing this particular figure. It's like people, but it's not people, as she described it, and it's always smiling. You know, it's a really creepy concept. Like when you think about it, like something you can't see, like standing that close to you, you can't see it, but it's smiling its ass off. Freaky shit. So Laura then begins to become and get more manic, into a manic state. So she ends up just smiling. You know, she knocks Rose away. Rose looks back, and she's there smiling. And she has like a sharp object in her hand. It's like a broken piece of something, but it's like sharp, you know. So she just slowly begins to slit her own throat while smiling, like this, you know, really graphic. It was a great shot though, great practical effects on that. That was pretty kick-ass. And so this messes up Rose's head. You know, well, at one time we saw anybody doing that in front of you, you'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Not with a good carpet. You know, as you do. So she ends up goes to see a therapist herself. And that's when she starts to see things. Most of the scenes, like jump scares in this, and there is a good few jump scares, are basically just dream states. They're not actually, you know, happening. Most of them, like, she'll see like something bad happening and then she'll snap out of it. You know, so that's an interesting one. And there's one particular scene that stuck out to me. I was expecting it to be a dream sequence. I was like waiting for the whole, like, someone grabbed her shoulder and she wakes up and it's not what it is, but which that scene was quite shocking actually. This was my first watch. I hadn't a clue what the fuck to expect, but she basically, we see her going to a shop and buying her nephew for his birthday a little train set, which those things are fucking expensive. So buys one of them, goes to the party, wraps it up and shit, goes to the party. Then the kid gets to her present, unwraps it, and you know, she's like, God, this is great. And already you can see in his face, he's like, what the fuck? So everyone's like, what is it? What? And what it was a dead cat. Dead pussy. So it was basically a cat that earlier in the movie disappeared, just vanished, and wasn't seen since. Name was Mustache. Great name for a cat. So she was distraught seeing it, and she gets up, grabs the cat, and everybody's looking at her like she's batshit crazy, and she's, you know, trying to reassure her, no, believe me, there's something did this, it wasn't me. You know, it was a demon. I mean, realistically, if someone did say that waving a dead cat in their hands, you would be like, what the fuck are you, crazy? So, distraught, then she falls through a table and gets cut, and, you know, so goes to the hospital and whatnot. But I mean, it does have a good pace. Like, the movie has great pace, and it just slowly gets wilder and wilder, and, you know, it started off pretty big, like a woman slitting her own throat with a smile. So it started off pretty heavy, but, you know, as it builds up and towards the end, towards the climax comes. So her husband, who I don't like, I fucking hate her husband. He's a complete fuckhead. Like, he's not even close to being what a husband is supposed to be. You know, he's there to support her. Then when somebody says, she's crazy, he'll look and say, yeah, you're crazy. You know, it helps on the bandwagon, like, instead of supporting his missus, you know. So I did not like his character at all. He pissed me off. And the sister as well, Rose's sister, also pissed me off. Stuck up her own ass. One of those people. I think we all know at least one. I still felt sorry for the kid. It was a kid I felt sorry for, like, because there was a scene after she was confronting her sister. Rose went back into her car and started crying up and shit. You know, losing it, and the kid was looking through the window like the same face as earlier, just through the window. That poor kid, he's gonna be fucked when he gets older. Gonna need a lot of therapy, which it's in the family. And there's a scene where the sister walks out, she's walking her ass, going to the window with her head like warps down like that. That was a pretty cool scene. I like that. I wasn't expecting that at all. I didn't know what to expect. Originally I thought she was gonna go to the window and say, listen, look, I've had a change of heart. Oh, damn that. Oh shit, wait a minute. She wanna have a closer look at you, huh? Shit. And what else? Yeah. The cinematography is interesting in this one too. Like, you have what they like to do with the cameras, they have like upside down shots. Like literally upside down. And it pans until it's like, you know, like that. So that's interesting. They used that a couple of times in this movie. That was interesting. I mean, it made it more unique, like, you know, but once or twice I thought was enough. Didn't have to keep doing it, but you know, that's the effect he chose to go with, so pretty cool. And then there's the climax. Climax is interesting. I mean, there's so much involved. Like, I mean, everyone's like, at this point, everyone's turning on Rose. You know, everyone's pointing the finger. You're batshit crazy, and you know, so she gets quizzed by the police a lot. And one of the detectives turns out to be her ex, whose name is Joel. And, you know, who was an interesting character. Like, you don't know that much about him, like, but he seems laid back and cool. A lot better than her husband. Fuck that guy. You know, because whenever she tried to explain it, at least he tried to listen to her, you know. He was like, okay, so what if this happened then? You know, even just that, what if, like, you know, it's a lot better than, you're just fucking crazy, I ain't listening to you. You know. So they do a lot of research and digging in, and they realize that this entity is basically, where could you put it? It sort of has to have you witnessing. If it possesses somebody, and that person goes out for, like, say, what, 5 days, 4 or 5 days, and then the demon will have that particular person kill themselves, but with a smile. And the thing is, they have to have a witness witnessing this suicide. So the witness, after the person's killed themselves, you know, then the witness, the demon entity latches on to the witness, and it's in the cycle. Then that witness goes on 4 or 5 days, kills themselves in front of another witness, and just goes on and on. It's a cycle in the cycle. And that's how it latches on. So they realize that the only way to stop it, that's a pretty fucked up way too. You can't, there's no win with how you can stop it. Basically you have to kill somebody, but have a witness seeing you kill this person. So yeah, you'll be free of the entity, but your ass is going to jail. Or shot by the police if you're holding a weapon. So there's really no way to win. So you're fucked either way, you know. So they came up with that idea. So Rose has this idea towards the climax to, if she's on her own and there's nobody to kill, you know, she'd be safe. So she goes to her old house, her childhood house, which her mum took an overdose. As we get a flashback of young Rose walking in on her mum, who's had an overdose, and she's asking for help, and young Rose just says no and runs away. So, leading to her mum to pass on. As her mum had, problems with drug abuse, and substance. But, yeah, so she goes to her childhood house, and of course Joe keeps ringing, though he finds out where she is, and he makes his way there. So it's the effects in this movie I really like. The effects, like towards the end, because we saw sketches earlier in the movie of like what this demon could actually look like in its own form, not human form or possessed form, but its own form. And there was a sketch of like a dark entity. It was like black sketched. That's what I was sort of hoping to see, which we actually did towards the very end. Which we see its real thing, which is fucking kick-ass design, by the way. It has like the mouth, and the way it looks is fucking kick-ass. I really love that. I wish we had more of that look, but so she sees her mum back. Her mum. It's clearly the entity that's taunting her and saying, "Why did you let me die? And why did you, fucking with her head?" So things get intense, and then they fight it out and wrestle, and she manages to set the entity on fire and, get out of the house. So, the whole house burns down, and which I foreseen whenever she put that fire lantern down. I was like, yep, that's a foretelling. The house is going to be burnt, and I was right. I was fucking right. So, she thinks she's burnt the entity, the whole thing. She thinks it's dead. That's it, I'm free. Goes back to Joel and says, that's it, it's over, and basically trying to rekindle their past romance. And all seemed well. For me, it seemed too well, and it seemed too easy, And then Joel, of course, smiles and he says, "I'm going to be with you forever, Rose." And he smiles, and you know that, oh shit, yep, there it is, bastard's still here, fuck. So, yeah, and Rose, they have a fight, and how the whole movie basically ends is Rose basically ends up, at that state where the suicide state. So, Joel eventually goes out, finds her, and she's holding a fucking oil thing, pouring oil over herself through the big canister. And then she looks around, smiles, and then lights the match and burns, and sets herself on fire. Sets herself on fire, and Joel, of course, is a witness to this, so that means he's next. He's fucked. Yeah. So, and that's how the movie ends. So, overall, the movie, it's not what I expected. I didn't know what I was expecting to walk in this. I didn't watch any trailers, I didn't read any descriptions, nothing. I just went in completely blind. I stopped watching movie trailers because they pretty much show the entire movie in like a minute and a half. So I look at the poster. If the poster looks interesting, I'll walk into the movie. That's how I do it, Trailers, big no-no. So, yeah, interesting movie. I enjoyed it. It was a good pastime, and if I were to score it, I would give it probably 7 out of 10. I would give it. It was interesting, the few things were just like, felt a little bit drawn out. There's always so many jump scares you can give, But I liked it. Story-wise, it was interesting. The entity was interesting. The idea of the entity was interesting. Overall, it was a good movie, so I would recommend it. So, yeah. If you're still here watching it, thank you. And, if you want to see more, because I'm going to go through every horror movie I can. I'm hoping to get around to not every single horror movie in existence. I don't have time for that, and just, But if there's any movie you want me to review, recommend it in the comments below, and I'll definitely do it 100%. So, if you liked it, please like, subscribe, and yeah, take care of yourselves. And, thanks for watching, and don't kill anyone.